motive, J motive, J motive, J motive. Recognize Heckler house, Heckler house. Oh, 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 oh.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Thomas back again with another rendition of Truth Be Told. Now, the big major thing going on in the news was the killings by Muslims in Australia, University Brown, and the stopping of another Muslim group that was planning an attack on a New Year's Eve event. Now, I've said it 100 times. I am not into religion. I think all religions are bogus. They were all created by men. That's just a fact. However, when it comes to religion, Islam and Christianity do not mix. The West and the East do not mix. They can't because of Islam. Now, Islam does not mean peace. They claim it does, but it does not. It means death. Australia, they just had that shooting or what mass shooting by Muslims. Same thing with the University of Brown. It was a Muslim who went in there and shot a bunch of people in a classroom. The attack that was going to happen, it was organized by Muslims. I'm not going to get into a religious debate, blah, 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 but Islam is 100% evil. It really is. It was created by demons. Their so-called prophet was a man who you can historically find that he was diagnosed with schizophrenia. He went into, this is literally in the Quran. He went into a cave and spoke to a bunch of demons for several days called jinn, and then came out and based his religion, the Islam religion, on demons. And the word Allah does not mean God, it means Beelzebub. You can check that out too. We all know who that is. So, it is a 100% evil religion. It's also in the Quran that they are to kill all infidels who do not think like them, look like them, or convert to Islam. You can check out other YouTubers like Steven Crowder, Ben Shapiro, Tim Pool, Doug in Exile, Liberal Hive, whatever, the Quartering. You can check them all out. They all have done research on this as well. They're trying to tell people you cannot have Islam in the U.S. It doesn't work. They need to go back to the hell that they came from. I don't care how many Muslims go, oh, it's just a radical group of us. No, it's in their Bible, the Islamic Bible, to kill all who do not convert to Islam. It's in the Bible, their Quran. They don't care about you. I don't care how nice they try to pretend they are. They're not. They're evil. They want to kill you. All of them do. Send them back to the hell they came from. because that's where they came from, was hell. I mean, if you're gonna, your whole religion is based on demons called jinn telling you how to live your life, you're from hell. You're evil. Go back. We don't want you here. Anyways, moving on. So as I've said before, even if you don't watch the channel regularly, and you've only seen a couple videos or you don't watch it at all, it only takes 2 seconds to hit that subscribe button. It doesn't affect you or your channel whatsoever. It just helps this channel grow. So please subscribe. Also, I have another channel. It's called Easy Does It. The link is in the About section. Check it out if you like gaming vlogs and reviews and reactions to other YouTube channels. Okay. Again, subscribe. I did see the trailers to the Street Fighter movie. There's a Street Fighter movie coming out. It looks pretty cheesy, but who knows? They just did a bunch of flash scenes. It was a tease. They did a bunch of flash scenes of fighting and shit, but I don't know any of these actors. I've never seen any of them before, so I have no idea if it's going to be any good or not. I know the first movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme was cheesy as fuck, but I don't care. I liked it anyway. I like that kind of 80s, 90s cheese in movies. Not so much in the cheesiness in today's shit. But anyway, I don't know. It looks cheesy as fuck. Don't know any of the actors. We'll see. It was just a teaser. The second one that I saw was the trailer for the Supergirl movie. Come on, man. Everybody knows that movie's going to be trash. Nobody wants to see this drunk ass, whiny, feminist bitch, girl boss, Supergirl. Nobody wants to see that shit. Even feminists don't even want to watch that shit. It looks absolutely like dog shit. I'll stick with the 80s version of Supergirl, which was awesome. This one just looks like shit. Nobody wants to see it. So let's get on to what I really wanted to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about a television show that apparently just went under the radar because I haven't heard anybody talk about it. It's called The Institute. It just came out a few months ago. It's a Stephen King adaptation of one of his books or whatever. Apparently, you have a bunch of teenagers who are getting taken from their homes because they have certain abilities. Apparently, there's like 3 or 4 abilities, like telekinesis, mind or telepathy, mind control. Telekinesis is the ability to move objects with your mind, and I can't remember what the other one was. I think it was clairvoyancy, which is like an oracle or something. A diviner, a seer, someone who can see in the future, in the past, or some shit like that. I think there was one more. I don't remember. But anyways, you have these kids who are being taken from their parents and put into this special facility called the Institute. where they can never leave and they can never contact their parents again. They are forced to do this. And then they come and find out and their parents are told that their kids have died. That's why they don't come looking for them. Now, in the show, it's basically the whole season is them trying to figure out how to break out or some shit. Now, supposedly you can mesh like 2 or 3 of the abilities together, and there's one particular, the main kid or whatever, he's meshing them all together. They call him something, they give him tags or something for being whatever power they have. But in one case they've had a rarity, the kid killed himself. He was able to mesh all the abilities together. Well, this one's able to do it too. And they give him a special class or whatever, and they're afraid of him. Well, he figures out something that the previous one didn't, is that there's other facilities across the world. And he kind of links up with them to escape, help him and the other children that are with him escape the facility. And that's pretty much the end of the show. They're able to escape. And then you see the main guy who's running the show. I don't know, I can't think of the actor's name, but he's the guy from the Lawnmower Man, the first Lawnmower Man. The one who played Jed or whatever the fuck his name is, the mental disabled person. Anyways, he's the main director. You find that out at the very end. But that's the end. And I haven't heard anything more about it. I've not heard anybody talk about it. I tried to get Neurotic and Geeks and Gamers to mention something about it, but they flat out refuse to talk about it. And I don't know why. It's kind of weird, because that's their niche. They'll talk about everything else, but they won't talk about this show. It's weird. I don't get it. Anyways, the show is okay, but it's not like something we've not seen before. It's kind of similar to, what the hell was that called? Legion. I don't remember if you remember the X-Men show called Legion, which I thought was kind of cool. But they really overpowered that motherfucker in that show. Anyways, yeah, check it out if you want. It's okay, but it's nothing special. It's really not. I don't know. I don't know if Stephen King was trying to go off like on a sidebar of like Firestarter, because it was very similar. They just weren't being introduced with drugs and shit. So I don't know. It's okay. Check it out if you want. I give it a thumbs up, thumbs down. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't really that good either. Let's get on to your B-movie reviews. Okay, Movieholics. This week is Sci-Fi Week. with a couple of sci-fi comedies. Haven't done any comedies in a while. Um, so we just did historical fantasy last week, so now we're going to do sci-fi comedy. A little change up. um, the first one, this is a franchise. There's 3 of these. I'll have to add something to next week's to watch with it. But the first one is called Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It was done in 1989. It made about 223 million worldwide, starring Rick Moranis, and Marcia Strassman. I hope that's how you pronounce her last name. I tell you all the time, I'm not sure if I always get the last name. Some of these names, I think it's Strassman. Anyways, she plays his wife. Now, the whole story is, Rick Moranis is this crackpot inventor. He comes up with goofy inventions all the time. And you see this in his house and stuff, his inventions. Some of them half-ass work, some of them don't. He has a wife who is into real estate. She sells homes to help make ends meet. Because he doesn't always get his grants for his inventions. And then he has 2 children, a teenage daughter, and a young boy. He's probably about 11, 12 years old. Looks similar to him, the glasses, the nerd look or whatever. He's basically working on an invention to shrink objects with some type of laser photon beam up in his attic. He's working on it. He can't quite figure out how to get it to work though. It keeps blowing crap up, especially organic material. Anyways, he's got to go to a meeting or a convention or some shit, where they get up and they talk about what they're doing or whatever, like at some university with others of his peer. While he's away, his wife is selling a house, so she's going to be home late. So he tells the kids to clean shit up, make everything nice and tidy for their mother, so she don't have to do it when she gets home. So while they're doing this, they have some neighbors. And the neighbors are going fishing. Well, the dad wants to go fishing. Nobody else does, just the dad. But he's forcing his family to go with him. They got 2 sons. There is the husband and the wife. And the wife seems rather pleasant. They have 2 sons. A boy about the same age as the girl, and another boy who's about the same age as the younger son of Rick Moranis. Anyways, the youngest of the neighbor, the blonde kid, he's playing around with a baseball and bat, and he hits it into the window of the attic where the machine is, which causes it to turn on and start shrinking stuff. Well, when it does, the baseball lodges into the machine. So the laser's shooting through the baseball. It's working. Instead of frying everything, it actually starts shrinking stuff. Well, the boys, the older brother takes the younger brother and makes him go next door and apologize and ask for his ball back and that he'll pay for any damages to the window. When they do this, they all go upstairs to look for the ball. Well, the two younger boys, they go look for the ball and they end up getting zapped. So the boy and the girl, they go upstairs to look for their younger brothers and then they get zapped. Well, the dad, Rick Moranis, he had a bad meeting. He comes home. He's pissed off at the machine, beats the hell out of it, and then sweeps everything up and then puts it in a garbage bag, takes it outside to the backyard. And then he notices that, his supposed thinking couch, which got shrunk, is missing. He don't understand where it went or how it got out of the attic. Nobody could have taken it out of the attic. And it takes a while to dawn on him what actually happened. And then he realizes, oh shit, I just swept up the floor. The kids were in it. So he goes, examines the trash bag. Sure enough, there's a hole that the kids had cut out of to race across the backyard to get back to the house. So he starts looking in the backyard for him. And the neighbors think that he's fucking nuts. All the things he's doing to try to avoid stepping on the grass while he's looking in the grass for them. So the kids go on a little adventure of, trying to get across the yard. And they run into a few big insects and other stuff trying to get back to the house. While the parents are looking for them. They eventually tell their neighbors, which freaks them out. They get pissed off, but then they start helping them. And then eventually, the kids eventually make it back, and the parents are able to zap them back to their regular size and everything. Everyone lives happily ever after. In fact, they get rich off of being able to have a shrink device, and they can enlarge shit too. So you see that at the end. They're all having Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner, and they blow up the turkey. But it's a good movie. It's actually there's actually some funny parts in there. This is before Disney became trash. This is a Disney film. It was before they became trash. So it's a decent movie. I gave it 2 thumbs up. Not bad. Now the sequel, that's a whole different story. The second one's called Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. Now apparently they have a baby. And you briefly see the older sister going off to college at the beginning of the movie. That's all she's in it for. And then the younger son with the glasses, Nick, he's grown up. Yeah, he's, in high school and blah, blah, blah. He has a crush on this girl who eventually they call in to babysit the kid, which they didn't realize that they blew up the kid before that happened, before he calls her and asks her to come over. She's a little hottie patati, and Nick has a huge crush on her. But anyways, at first she didn't agree to help him out, but she eventually does. Rick, he takes his son to where he's working. He's working for this rich man who also was an inventor, old man. But he's hired a staff of doctors, and he has a lab and a facility, and Rick is not the one in charge. This other Buffon is freaking in charge. He's an idiot, baboon motherfucker. Anyways, he's in charge. He's an asshole. But anyways, while messing around, showing Nick his laboratory, he runs an experiment there by trying to, for whatever reason, I don't get it. in the first movie, he was able to enlarge objects. In this one, for some reason, he can't do it, which makes no sense because he was already able to do it. Now, for some reason, he can't. So he's doing an experiment to try to enlarge this stuffed bunny that belongs to his, his baby son. They have a third kid, a baby. Anyway, in this one, he's trying to enlarge it. Well, the baby son is all the time. He's like a little Houdini. He gets out of playpens or locked places and shit like that all the time. Anyways, he gets out of his little car or kid's seat, stroller, whatever you want to call it, and it goes to grab the bunny. When he does, the experiment zaps not just the bunny but him, but nothing seems to happen. Well, they later find out that electromagnetic energy causes him to grow. The flux, or whatever you want to call it. It's electromagnetic energy. Anyways, it causes him to grow. The kid creates a bunch of havoc. It gets like 50 feet tall, and it goes to downtown Vegas. They gotta chase him there. The military supposedly gets, or the FBI or some shit, gets involved. But they eventually figure out a way to shrink him back down with the original machine from the first movie. Makes no sense. He goes and gets the original machine, which works. It can enlarge and shrink. So I don't get why they're running experiments. It makes no sense because they're claiming they can't enlarge stuff, which the original one does. Anyways, they shrink the kid back to his original size. They had to use mommy to do it, but anyways, everything gets hunky-dory again, and everyone's happy and whatever, happy after whatever. This movie, I didn't care for it. I didn't like it. It was boring. The kid going around on a rampage, just tearing shit up. It was kind of dumb. You can watch it if you want. I'll give it a thumbs up, thumbs down. It was okay for a one-time watch, but don't waste your time. I don't recommend it. But if you want to watch it, just to watch the entire franchise, go ahead. Now the third one. There is a third one. I think it's called Honey, I Shrunk Ourselves or some shit like that. I don't know. I've never seen it. I will watch it. It will be a first time watch for me. Because like I said, I've never even seen it. I didn't even know there was a third one. And then I'll have to figure out something else to watch with it. Maybe you guys can make a suggestion, another type of comedy like that. Anyways, that's all I have for you this week. If you have thoughts about what I talked about earlier in the video, please leave your thoughts down in the comment section down below. If you can think of any B-rated or underrated movie, something you think I've never even heard of, please leave your suggestions down in the comment section down below, and I'll get to reviewing them as soon as I can. So, until next time, I told you you'd be told the truth, and you just been told.